Welcome back to Improving New Mexico's Eva Montoya. And due to the popularity of the video about road rage, I'm going to do a follow up video with road rage, but it's going to be like focused on the direction of road rage towards cyclists and pedestrians. And also, I apologize. My sound on the last road rage video was pretty bad. So I ended up getting some new equipment. It's not the best, but seems to be an improvement over the old junk I was using last time. So got the new camera, got a new mic, new sound. So it's just my ancient laptop is kind of straining under this. So, but I think it's doing okay. It's doing its job. But let's start off looking at this video here from California. And I don't get it. Like I watched this video before I used it, but these people are being like...
A scary case of road rage along PCH in Orange County. Caught on camera, two bicyclists nearly run off the road. The cyclists say two drivers were so aggressive they feared for their lives.
KTLA5's Carlos Saucedo is live with more on what happened. Hi, Carlos.
Hey, Micah and Court, this joyride quickly turned south for two cyclists out here in Orange County. Part of the road rage incident was caught on camera, and tonight those two cyclists, they're speaking out, saying things could have ended so much worse. A Saturday bike ride turned dangerously ugly along PCH and Bayshore Drive in Newport Beach. Dramatic video shows two cyclists being run off the designated bike lane by the driver of a blue BMW. One of the cyclists, fearing for his life, bunny hops the curb onto the sidewalk to get out of the way.
Just trying to kill them?
Zooms by us, gets the red light, and then, as far as I know, like 30 seconds later, he's like inches away from my rear wheel.
Ben Byra and Luke Fetzer are competitive riders and were out training for a race happening the following day. They say the drivers in the BMW and a black and red Corvette got aggressive with them, yelling homophobic slurs for no reason.
We're just riding single file. Ben is behind me, I'm in front of him, and he comes up to us and starts laying on the horn. His buddy yells out the side window.
To get the drivers to back off, Luke says he squirted some water from his bottle towards the cars, and that's when things escalated.
Called us slurs, and me spraying some water on his car was in retaliation to that.
In the video, which has more than 8 million views on Instagram, we see items being thrown out the window of the BMW towards the riders, including a plastic water bottle, as the car flies past them. Things get even more heated next.
A couple lights down, they've like
insane.
all got out of their
These
cars
people-
trying to like, I don't know, tackle us or hit us. I don't know what their plan was.
They're
We're going
on,
like
the
30,
bike
40
lane.
miles an hour
Why are you
downhill,
driving
so
your car
if they
trying
did
to
touch
attack
us, it
people?
wouldn't have
Like,
been good for anyone.
An incident report was taken by Newport Beach Police, but so far no active investigation is underway. Luke's attorney, who is a cyclist
Yeah,
himself,
so-
says this is one example of the dangerous roads for riders.
What's scary to us is we've seen a real rise in intentional aggression towards cyclists. The unfortunate thing here is these cyclists were actually where they were supposed to be.
We were in the bike lane, so like, I really don't see what we were doing wrong.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's like you're using your sliver.
Thankfully,
of
nobody was
appropriate
injured
lane.
in
It's
this
like-
road rage incident, but the riders want the drivers to be held accountable for their actions. Reporting
Yeah.
live in Winter Park, Carlos Salcedo.
Yeah, that's just terrible. It's just like, I don't know. What do you do in that situation? Well, I mean, they probably shouldn't have thrown water at the drivers. That's just going to instigate these like crazy people already. But still, they were in their lane. They were doing what they were supposed to do. And these drivers were like running cyclists off the cycle lane. So it's just, I don't know. And I've noticed this too when I make like comments, like there's a lot of angry drivers out there that don't like cyclists. They like victim blame cyclists and pedestrians every time there's an accident. And it's just disgusting behavior. Honestly, I think people, I don't know, you have the right to say whatever you want online, but if you're having that mentality and you're driving, people should really look into what you're doing, honestly. Like if you're threatening to do bad things to cyclists and pedestrians online, it probably manifests out in the real world. Obviously, look at where these people are coming from. I'm sure if they post on social media, I'm pretty sure they post some nasty, horrible stuff about cyclists and pedestrians. But I think it's just like the sense of entitlement by drivers. They feel like every inch of the road belongs to them, you know. And the fact they're allocating anything towards cyclists or cycle infrastructure just annoys them because they feel like, oh, I'm driving this expensive vehicle, and these cyclists are probably going faster than them when they're stuck. I mean, that is annoying when you see like you're stuck in a traffic jam and you see like a pedestrian or a cyclist beating you. You're like, I invested all this money and I'm losing the race to work or saving time to people who have nothing, you know what I mean, who didn't invest anything. And I don't know, it's just it kind of, this weird psychology takes over, this like entitlement too. It's like, it's kind of crazy. Or just like driving too. I was like talking to someone and we were just talking about like how drivers even hate other drivers. Obviously no one likes getting stuck in traffic. Everyone wants to have like free, open, clear road, parking that's super convenient everywhere, where you like park right next to where you need to be like all the time, very minimal walking. We're just like, everyone's chasing this like dream of like super convenience, and it's just like, it's kind of crazy to think about. It's like, when in human history has that ever been possible, and like at what cost is that coming to, you know? Like we're paying for that in like so many different ways, whether it be with our own health too. It's like the people that are like, we're not getting like natural exercise because we like drive, and we have this convenience culture so much. So I think it's like really hurting us and making us like more disabled, more unhealthy, you know, like mentally and physically, because we're not interacting with people as we travel around like humans normally used to travel, you know, talking, waving to people. It's just like we're just angry. We go from our like personal little boxes, you know, whether that be your box at home, into your like drive box, into your work box, and we don't interact with like the rest of society at all. Like, I don't know, seems kind of crazy to think about. Sorry about that, I'm like a bit thirsty. But I mean, that behavior ultimately leads to like this sort of situation, you know, where people are getting killed, you know. And like we're seeing people here in like the streets of Albuquerque that are being struck by, what the heck's going on? It's not uploading. Well, this happened like in June. Man, my computer is not liking this at all. But there was also another person in Texas. She was like a boxer, and she was also, I guess we'll get to that after this, but yeah, this happened in late June. And this person like, is accused of purposely killing this cyclist.
You died, man?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, man. Well, oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
You just heard from one of the witnesses of a crash between a car and a bicyclist when they learned the man who was hit died. KUAT obtaining audio and footage of that man's arrest. We want to warn you that the footage you see next could be disturbing for some. Police say in late June they were called out to Central Avenue and Maple Street. There they found Brent Curley had allegedly hit a bicyclist, Mikhail Garcia. Witnesses say Curley was turning eastbound onto Central and allegedly revved the engine before cutting between two cyclists, running one of them over.
That Explorer, he made a right, but he swerved all the way into the bus lane to try and hit the bicyclist guy. Like, it looked like it was almost on purpose. He started rolling underneath, like kind of like four-wheeling on top of him, and then he gunned it some more to get over him, and then I yelled and screamed.
Officers on scene reported Curley had slurred speech, a smell of alcohol.
Yeah, I mean, just you're mixing like alcohol, anger, and you're directing it at like these poor cyclists that are just trying to get out of your way, you know. And you know, this case hasn't been resolved yet, but it sounds like this might have been like an intentional thing. And same thing like with this other person I was telling you about. This was a boxer in Texas, and it's like, poor woman.
We're in Bryan, Texas, where members of the local boxing community are demanding justice after one of their prize fighters was killed. Hannah Rapp was struck by a vehicle while riding her bicycle in Navasota over the weekend, an incident many have described as road rage. Investigators say the driver stopped, reversed, and backed her over. We're in Bryan, Texas.
Yeah, I mean, it's happening all the time, just all of our people that we love and care about, are getting killed by people just that shouldn't be driving. People with anger issues, people that just I don't know, they're just infected with something that's causing them to do this, where they are taking out their anger on cyclists and pedestrians for some reason. And good old Reddit. We'll look for Reddit for some advice. What should I do when drivers road rage at you? And this is a cyclist. I had a driver yesterday slowly follow me through a busy city center while holding the horn, bumping me with his cars, yelling about how I'm blank and I need to man up and fight. Instead of ignoring him, I ended up getting off the bike and waiting until the driver behind him got so mad and forced him to move on. I mean, that person probably did the right thing, honestly, because especially here in Albuquerque, I would be afraid that turned into some sort of gun crime. And yeah, good thing the cyclists here just removed themselves from the situation and got out of the way and just forced that other person to get yelled at by the other cars, so or just exit, try to escape, and or if you can, best video them and call the police. So if you're able to do that, get like their license plate number, record them. If you could record them raging at you, trying threatening you, do that. Get their license plate number at the very least. Yeah, I mean, just I don't know, like people say like some police wouldn't care, some would. It's just, if you're using your vehicle as a weapon, that's using your vehicle as a weapon. Intentionally bumping like pedestrians or cyclists is threatening them. So that's definitely a reportable offense in my book. And this person, so they're new to cycling, attitudes of drivers. So this person swapped their car for a bicycle, I guess, or started using it more. It's like I just got a bike, started taking the same route I have in the car for years, and the stark differences in the way I treat it in the car versus on the bike is shocking. For example, I came to a roundabout earlier, as I always would, waited for the cars on the right to turn in before going myself. The van behind me was losing his mind, beeping at me, shouting at me for me to go. I was genuinely shocked. Had I been in a car as I've been in for 10 years, I never would have received this kind of reaction for simply waiting at a junction. What gives? Yeah, I feel too, like, just even on the road, it's like the law of the jungle. I get treated like shit on my motorcycle a lot of time. People don't feel like we belong to be on the road either. So, and yeah, they victim blame motorcyclists a lot too. So it's a very similar situation. But yeah, I feel like it's like a size thing, and that's why everyone's getting pushed into getting these like giant trucks and SUVs, because they want to feel like I'm not gonna get bullied by these like crazy people, or they think they're safer in case of an accident or something like that. I thought y'all had some terrible drivers. I moved to SLC a year ago. I was quickly proven wrong. I drove a classic car. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, it's an attitude entirely indistinguishable from fashion. I think cyclists are subhuman, not deserving of rights or equality, not deserving of safety. Honestly, they prefer if your existence was outlawed. Yeah, I mean, there's people out there that honestly believe that, like, cyclists do not belong anywhere near cars too. So it's like, I mean, everywhere else on Earth, I've seen cyclists and cars get them. It's fine, It's like here, I think it's just like people don't want to pay attention to anything that's smaller than them, So that's the thing too. It's like they want this like environment that's very insular, cushioned, you know, where they could just drive quickly and not have to think about it, you know. A very forgiving environment for like lazy drivers who don't want to have to pay attention to what's going on. And here, I mean, look at, I mean, you could just say, you could see here.
A mother was crossing the street with her 2 kids when she was nearly struck, all of them, by a driver in a stolen car. APD says moments earlier that driver was involved in a road rage shooting. News 13's just...
This is like a mix of everything, it sounds like. So we got stolen car, road rage shooting, and attempted pedestrian run over situation. So it's just like this person was wrong in all different situations. Oh man. Man, I am having technical
APD says moments earlier that driver was involved in a road rage shooting. News 13's Jessica Baron is here with more.
The mom says she had gone to the flea market at the Expo, New Mexico with her 2 kids. One kid was walking beside her, the other was in a stroller. She was halfway across the street when she suddenly heard a loud screech and saw a car coming right towards them.
But as soon as I heard that screech, like a really hard screech, I turned just barely, and I don't know what in me told me pull. So I pulled the stroller towards me.
Lorraine Boone says the car ended up swerving onto the sidewalk in order to avoid hitting her and her 2 kids. They were crossing.
I mean, too, it's just like, look, this woman is like actually just trying to be a responsible person and take her kids out for a walk or fresh air and stuff, and just to get out of the house, and you're like threatened with death. It makes you not even want to leave. So I don't know, it's awful.
Louisiana and Central to catch the bus after having spent her Saturday morning at the flea market. Boone says she called police. That's when the driver and a passenger grabbed some of the things out of the car and ran on foot. Police say the driver, Richard Hill, later showed up at the hospital with multiple gunshot wounds. Police say this all started as a road rage incident. Police pulled over a driver who said he started shooting at a car because he thought the driver pointed a gun at him first. Police say Hill was in a stolen car and fled, and that's when he almost hit Boone. Lorraine says the incident was traumatizing, especially for her 6-year-old son.
But to come home and for us to go through this and for him to tell me, Mom, I'm going to listen to Dad. I'm just going to stay home because I don't want to die. It's really sad.
APD says Hill has multiple felony warrants for car theft. He's being treated at the hospital and will be booked into MDC when...
I don't know. That's just really sad hearing that from a child. Like just having that fear of just even leaving your house. It's just what kind of, I don't know. It just makes me sick, the fact that we have so many road rage people here in the city that are just going, I don't know, just going crazy. And I just think about even here today, you look like all these places that you see the red, yellow, where there's like slow down in traffic. That's potential area, you know. And the fact that, I mean, look at how big the city is already. It's huge, massive. And we're still, it's still expanding out in Rio Rancho, this whole area. So it's like, we're going to have to service this entire area. And people in Rio Rancho are kind of like, they like the car-centered lifestyle. A lot of people are moving out there because of that, because it's like cheap car-centered lifestyle. And a lot of people in Albuquerque kind of are trying to do other things. I feel we're trying to do different things, but it's difficult, and we have a lot of problems and a lot of issues we have to face with converting like a motor city into a city where people can get around without a car better, you know. But we just have a massive space, you know. It's a big area to cover without like a whole lot of people like per square mile. You know, most of the people live in like certain little blobs around here, but yeah, it's a big struggle. But it's sad that we have these issues where people are afraid to even go out of their house because they're afraid like people are gonna rage at them and, you know, potentially kill them, you know. It's just, there definitely needs to be more consequences for road rage, I think. so people aren't afraid to like go out of their house anymore, you know? I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is. We definitely need to treat people road raging as similar to using your vehicle as like a deadly weapon, you know, especially if they do things like that where they're using it to try to run people over, run people off the road. Like, that's attempted murder. Like those people in California that were trying to run those cyclists off the road, in my book, like they could have killed those people easily and they should have been charged. Supposedly from the comments in there, they weren't even charged. So I think that's like a big thing we got to do is treat road rage as like a severe crime that it is, you know. But what do you guys think? Comments if you've had any road rage experience here in Albuquerque, if you're a pedestrian or cyclist. Do you feel like there is more rage directed at like cyclists and pedestrians more so than other cars, or do you think it's like about equal? I don't know. I definitely want to start a conversation about this and like hear what people have experienced for sure. All right, well, thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm trying to build up this channel so we could have more discussions about issues with quality of life and infrastructure and just being able to get around the city and living safely in the city, because I think we are all struggling here in Albuquerque to live a healthy, safe life, you know. All right, well, thank you. Bye.